marathonjourney.com v5.11 in beautiful downtown West Sacramento for Beat the Blerch Marathon to eat cake and rest in couches, otherwise known as a long training run. This was supposed to be our 26-mile long training run week, but always better to find a marathon to run than to just do a long run. And so here we are, getting ready to beat the Blerch. Now this is kind of an odd one because Sacramento is the only one that has a 6-hour time limit instead of a 7, so it's going to be a little bit faster than we're normally going to run a long training run, but at least we'll get it in, and we'll have hydration and couches and cake along the way. A little bit more about that later, but we're heading to the runners area to pick up our bib for race day pickup and get our stuff checked, ready to go for Beat the Blerch. Well, we're walking out to the start line for the beginning of Beat the Blerch Marathon, and the sun is coming up. It's still chilly this morning, in the 40s, but I can tell you that's not going to last long because there is not a cloud in the sky. We do have a little bit of cool air coming off the river as we're running, but it's going to get up into the 60s pretty quickly. So we're going to get to shed some layers as we enjoy West Sacramento. See you a little closer to the start line. About time for the start. Everybody's kind of migrating that direction. We have an hour before the half marathoners start, and then they stagger start the rest for the 10K and all that. So we're getting ready to go out on the streets of West Sacramento for Beat the Blerch. See you out there on the course. The Tower Bridge in Sacramento, heading over to Sacramento proper. Warnings. And straight down the Capitol. Past mile 2.5, we have the Sheriff's Posse Arena, or the Sacramento PD Posse Arena, sorry, on the left, and the Marina on the right. And we're gonna turn back east towards Sacramento. Under the freeways. A great deal about the race and the concept are held very firmly tongue-in-cheek, obviously, because we're beating the Blerch. We just passed mile 3, and it was actually one of the better stocked fueling stations that I've seen at a marathon. They had water, they had a little watered down sports drink, but they were handing out gels, Nutella sandwiches, and cake. If you can't keep running with that much fuel, you're gaining weight on the run. See you a little bit farther down the race course. Our street bridge, but it's a pedestrian and bike bridge over the freeway. Pretty nice. And there's some smiling and familiar faces.
I got the new GoPro. Nice.
This is my building, CalPERS, where the first of the month, like clockwork, they send me my retirement check. Gotta love these guys. Here's the long straightaway heading back towards the Capitol. Very long straightaway. You can tell we're in a drought in California because even the palm trees are turning brown, and they're from the desert. And there's the California State Capitol. much less grand than the Arkansas State Capitol, but 20 miles to go. 3 weeks from now, when we run the California International Marathon, we end here, so it'll be a much happier sight. Putting up the Christmas tree on Capitol Mall. And yet another look at the Capitol as we run all the way around it. Not a terribly scenic route, but nice because it's all covered with trees. So there's plenty of shade, and there's some nice old houses that are being restored, and some of them turning into buildings or businesses. But all in all, we've been in a lot worse places. Mile 6. Some very interestingly ornamented old houses here. We've just cruelly been vectored around the Blue Diamond almond plant without having any almonds offered to us, and we're now on the Sacramento Bikeway. We'll see where this leads. Looks like it's next to the railroad tracks. We'll have to see how this goes. We've noticed something very consistent about the mile markers, and that is that they're coming up short. We're 0.2 of a mile short now at mile 7. Now, going long is normal. Remember, you rarely will hit all of the vectors in order to get exactly 26 miles, 385 yards. You jostle around the start, you hit turns a little bit too wide, you cross the street at the wrong time. So, being long is normal. My Garmin is normally within 1/100th of a mile, and to be 0.2 of a mile short of 7 miles at the 7 mile mark is kind of we'll have to see how that all pans out. See a little farther down the race course. Crossing the river again. Still out on the bike trail, but a lot less shade. Heading to mile 9. Out past mile 10, and there are just sheep all over. About mile 9 they started. This is a Caltrans project to reduce fire danger by basically eating everything clear to the ground. I wouldn't mind taking a few of those things home. Okay, that's Cal Expo. So we have run from West Sacramento, across the river, through Sacramento, past the Capitol, and over to Cal Expo. We hit the turnaround at about 14 and change, and then we're running back. Sun is high and it's warm, and the mile markers are just keep getting off further and further. Very interesting. Just past 17 mile mark at 16.21 on my GPS. Shade. See you a little bit farther down the race course, I hope. Well, in the spirit of blurchiness, I'm here at the aid station in a comfy couch with 10K to go. So we will have to extricate ourselves from the comforts here on the side of the road and finish up this marathon. It's been warm. No, it's been hot out in the sun. So we have definitely suffered from that. So we'll see you a little farther down the race course. Well, we're heading to mile 24. I am upright, but kind of barely. This is one of those races that really, if it wasn't for the fact that the CIM was coming up in 3 weeks, I shouldn't have run. because between taking care of my geriatric cat who's on hospice and going on a cruise and gaining all that weight and having been trained by running on the ship, and my daughter's wedding coming up in 1 week, my head just wasn't in this one, so we're toughing it out. I don't know that we'll make it before the cutoff. Might be the first marathon where we get swept, I don't know. But I have what feels like a recurrence of an old high ankle sprain in my right ankle. It's been coming and going. Felt pretty good this morning, but I've been on Celebrex for the past week trying to get rid of it. And then my left calf just inexplicably locked up. So we'll power on and see what the rest of the course holds. And here's our finish.